up there. They start to make a little confused, or at least the images that the space agency provide us is all CGI. After 100 kilometers, nobody knows what happened up there. So I'm going to try to put some new ideas that maybe could help to understand what's going on up there. We have the screen of my computer to share, okay? So first of all, in terms of if you go to ancient cultures, talking about this magnetic field of energy that surrounds us and keep us, in control, this is the depiction of this onion-style magnetic force that cover our entire plane of existence. This is the Shri-Shantra, which is an ancient concept, came from Vedas. But if you go to modern style, if you want to see it that way, you can see this magnetic field, how it's produced in real life, this dome style field of energy. This is a ferrocell with a magnetic in the center, with a magnet in the center, and you can see what the ancient concepts became more real, and you can really appreciate in real life. That is the idea behind this short video. Of course, we can think in terms, we can see not just in terms of the magnetic field, but we all understand, maybe if you go to the Tesla kind of concept of the universe, you can see that electricity is playing a huge role, because magnetism and electricity are both the same thing, different pole of the same coin, if you want to see it that way. And of course, you can transfer that concept not just in our plane, but even in every living being on the plane, right? Because that is maybe what is the concept behind, controlling the torus, the dome, the toroidal field. It's every living being has their own magnetic electrical field. So that is just very briefly the concept behind this electromagnetic dome. But
yeah, real quick. I mean, the human chakra system, which many people are probably very familiar with, is essentially a series of toroidal fields that surround the human body. It's a very real energetic field. So this is something that surrounds living creatures, around our Earth itself, and many, many things actually exhibit these type of fields. So, in fact, my wife just did a really good presentation on this in the other room, so I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but this is something that in nature is replete. I mean, it's everywhere. So, to apply this to the Earth, and as far as what Ira is going to be talking about here, I think is very realistic. I mean, even the mainstream will acknowledge that, we have this huge magnetic field that shields us from, solar radiation and all kinds of space radiation that's coming in. It's kind of our protector. But I think in the flat Earth concept, it kind of takes on another meaning, and that's kind of where Vera's going with this.
Yeah. So there is a very, very nice piece of rocket launch which take place November 6th of 2015. It came from the Up Aerospace company, which is a branch of the Go Fast guys that, I assume that everyone knows the Go Fast rocket, and the idea that hit the dome at the beginning of the flat Earth research. Everyone believed that the rocket hit something, but it's just the yo-yo, the spin mechanism that the rocket has to self-oriented in space and stop spinning and getting crazy. But the same guys, they've been contracted by NASA after that rocket launch, and they launched this other one, which has something very special, because they put the data that is coming from the rocket. Of course, the rocket reached only 120 kilometers.
Yo,
and then take a look and see what is the data that is coming from there.
120 kilometers. That's pretty
So
freaking
here's the
high.
altitude, the outside temperature, and the airspeed, right? And look at the temperature, how it starts going down very quickly. And when it reaches the maximum altitude, you're gonna see
Negative
something really interesting.
250, negative 300.
This is in Fahrenheit degrees, by the way, right?
Negative 350.
And they activate the spin mechanism.
Negative
Then they cut off
negative
their feed, right? They
447.
editing this because it's supposedly for Red Bull or something like that. The GoPro
Wow.
advertising. But look at now the temperature outside. It's almost 0 Kelvin degrees. So that contradicts all the thermosphere model that
yeah.
NASA is present us, or
Wow.
Space Agency present us as something that you go higher, you're gonna reach a gradient of lower temperature, and then suddenly it's gonna start to rise up and take these measurements about 200 Celsius degrees, something like that in the thermosphere. But this rocket reached the 120 kilometer and almost reached 0 Kelvin degrees. So what is important about this is that when you have this kind of temperature, you can, if you have gases, you can convert those gases in super fluidic gases, right? So let me just play very quickly because I don't have much time. So you can understand
Super
better,
critical.
this guy speaks English better than me. He came from BBC, right? And you can understand what is this state in terms of the gases and fluids, right?
In the 1930s, another strange phenomenon was observed at even lower temperatures. This rapidly evaporating liquid heat cools until it 2 degrees on absolute zero, a dramatic transformation.
Alright, I'll talk to you later about it. How many people are there? There's like 7 or 8. Yeah.
Because they said it's 7 to 8 person now. I get it, man.
There's, okay, let's talk about it later.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's not on you, man. You kind of came in at the last
Yeah.
second. So.
I'll talk to you though. Yeah.
Ordinarily, this contained tiny pores composed of liquid helium. But the moment the helium turns superfluid, it leaks through.
Leaks through the glass? What?
Superfluid helium can do things we might believe impossible. It appears to defy gravity.
There is something, always they fight gravity, right? It's amazing. Something else. But this is the most important thing. It has 0 viscosity and not produce any kind of index of refraction.
Wow.
And no friction.
Wow.
So we have a fluid up there because of course our atmosphere is based on all these gases and much more. It's not just helium. In this kind of temperature that you achieve this kind of behavior, no index of refraction, no friction, and no viscosity. And then we have something that in our modern age you can hear about it, which is superconductivity.
Yeah.
And let me just play very quickly, and after this, in 3 minutes, I finish the presentation.
Wow.
The phenomenon you saw here for a brief moment is called quantum levitation and quantum locking.
Quantum.
It's levitation, okay? It's not 0 gravity or things like that.
Superconductivity is a quantum state of the matter, and it occurs only below a certain critical temperature.
Again, the temperature is very important.
It's defined by 2
Quantum means to count.
zero electrical resistance, and the second is the expulsion of magnetic field from the interior of the superconductor. Inside a superconductor, there are no collisions, so there is no energy dissipation. It's quite remarkable. Think about it. Because there is always some friction, some energy loss, but not here, because it is a quantum effect. But that's not all. Because superconductors don't design magnetic field. The combination of both effects, the expulsion of magnetic field and zero electrical resistance, is exactly a superconductor. I'd like to show you how this works. I have here a superconductor, and when I place it on top
The computer.
of a regular
Ah, okay. You don't hear nothing. Ah, okay, man. You need. All right. Well, yeah. No, I assume that it doesn't matter. I mean, the guy explained it. Please get going.
Yeah, I was just going to say basically what all in all is showing us is many people believe that there's a dome, maybe it's a glass dome. You know, even some people on this panel might believe that, but really when it gets down to it, the gases that we have in the upper atmosphere mixed with the temperature that we have in the upper atmosphere being, you know, at the height that we saw that rocket being nearly 0 Kelvin, tells us that we can create that kind of dome without a glass piece or, you know, of course we have Chris outside with the domes. But does that make sense what we're saying here?
Yeah, I mean, this guy explained it about the condition for have superconductivity. So that means zero friction. And for doing that, you need lower temperature, almost 0 Kelvin degrees. So if you go to the atmosphere itself, we have, of course, compounded, you know, our atmosphere is presented as a variety of gases, as you know. But there is one particular gas that it's called sulfur, hexafluoride of sulfur. I'm sorry for my
Sulfur.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And this gas has a particular, properties because it's colorless, it's non-toxic, okay, non-flammable, and it's also 6 times heavier than the air. So, and every time that, for example, a volcano is the name in English, volcano make eruption, it's fill up our atmosphere with this gas, and this gas remain there 3,200 years each time. For example, a volcano makes this kind of eruption, right? So you can imagine how much of this gas is in the upper atmosphere. So the thing is, when we're talking about 6 times heavier than the air, we are talking about, for example, this is just a tinfoil, kind of boat that is putting inside of this container with this gas. Of course, you cannot see it because it's colorless, it's not produce index of refraction, it's not produce friction, it's not nothing. But of course, this guy can manage that gas as will be a liquid. So we have this property of heavy thing, you know. Then you have another property, it's you cannot, you don't have ignition in terms of fire. So imagine a rocket up there. I don't believe that these things can be turned on. And that is maybe why at certain point they shut down all the engines of the rockets and they just via inertia is the only thing that you can do up there. But also it's not allowed for electricity. You can see right now they put inside and the electricity is turned off and when it came outside of the gas. So you can start seeing where I'm going maybe. This is also for sound. I don't know if you can hear that?
Yeah.
How slow down the frequency of the sound. So in few words, this gas along with the other standard gases, the CO2 for example is more heavier than the air too. It's not just this gas. What I'm trying to point out is that we have this gas which is really heavy than the air and is really present in the atmosphere, and it has all these conditions to not allow maybe for our technology to operate at that kind of condition. And for finish that, this is a video from the Space Agency from Germany, and they're gonna launch this sounding rocket. They are really small, like 40 centimeters and 6 meters high. It's just really, it's like an arrow. It's like a symbol of, throwing an arrow to the dawn. And the nice thing is that, of course, it's gonna be very fast because it's very lighter in comparison with the space shuttle or all these Hollywood, concept that they supposedly send at 60,000 miles per hour. Look, hear the sound, how it's going to start changing, and there is no more sound. It reached the Mach 6.5, which is really fast. I don't believe the space shuttle can reach even the half of the speed, based on this.
25 or 30, right?
Yeah. So then make this separation, and they don't give us the live feed because they say that you need to pay for
Wow,
looking
I
at
must have missed
But
it,
when
Dred.
this re-entry to the atmosphere, look
I heard
the
all about
orientation. It's like floating. It's like they enter in another kind of viscosity or fluid
had
situation.
Jimmy
It's not
Kimmel
0
send
G
a shittle
because in
with
fact
the
it's
fake,
100 kilometers. But
missing a
then
leg.
hear the sound of the earth and
And
look how the
acting
rocket
real
behaves.
stupid
Like
and being loud,
it's just
talking
jumping
about the
from
Illuminati.
one viscosity to other, and you can see
But he
even like
worked for Jimmy
drips
Kimmel.
of water up there, kind to enter in our atmosphere. And then you have this condition of self-orientated. And it's very strange because the rocket doesn't have any kind of self-oriented. They only have the property to stop the spinning, but not to self-orient. It's like something that is belong to nature, that kind of. This is another one. You can hear how it's like a boat splash entering the atmosphere, and you can go all the day long, looking and sounding rocket, and all behave the same. In fact, I have here very quickly a comparison of different rocket launches, and you can see how they self-orientate, like it being induced maybe some kind of electrical or magnetic property. But the nice thing is that
I'm
these
still
gases,
alive.
if you keep cooling down, they crystallize. So we only reach these altitudes. We don't know what happened 500 kilometers up. We don't know what happened 1,000 kilometers up. But if you follow the line, it's gonna be cooler, maybe, much more and much more, most high you go. So you're gonna reach a certain point where the gas is going to create like a crystal, like a barrier, via nature properties. You know what I mean? It's
Like a glass stretched out over the head.
yeah, and yes, exactly. And by the way, with this I finish. This is in Spanish, sorry for not translating, but when I correct the lens, this is a Foxy rocket from NASA. It was launched, I believe, 2016. And when I correct the lens of this rocket, based on the straight line of the shadow and the poles and the classical structure in the picture, and I put it straight, and the rocket reached supposedly the normal information of NASA is 250 kilometers. You can see, let me just skip forward, you can see a straight line in the horizon. So this is not just 30 kilometers stratospheric balloon, this is a sounding rocket at 250 kilometers.
Oh,
And the
kilometers.
horizon is still level and rise up to your eye level, in this case the camera, and it's completely flat. So how you explain that in the heliocentric model? There you have the official camera, and this is the correct one. And even in the official camera, at a certain point, you're going to have this straight line, which is, technically, for me at least, in my opinion, is not much with the heliocentric model. So this is
Was
all I
the
got,
stream
and thank you
good, guys?
for the time.
I think that these two definitely have taught me a lot about the electromagnetic nature of the world, that it's everywhere. It is everywhere that we exist, that this is what we have to deal with. And I think when you really look at what science has done is they put all this importance on what a lot of us believe is incorrect, and that's gravity, right? If you take gravity, I've talked about it before, but I just don't think that there's a force that's pulling things down to the ground. I think things have their own density, which makes them fall. But I think, don't you agree that they need gravity so much because they need the globe? And if it wasn't for the globe, right?
And they use for everything, for orientation, for attachment, for everything. They use for everything.
It's terribly, and not only that, to even think for a minute that gravity, even at the masses that we're talking about, has enough pulling power to literally hold, something the size of the Earth around a rotation around the sun, or the ISS mass, especially at the speed that it's
Look
going.
at yours haircut.
It's absurd,
Dude's a
but
baller.
they have to use that for everything.
Speaking
And,
of George
it doesn't make a lot of
Michael's
sense
beard.
when you look at like things like Halley's Comet and how it goes out for 75, 80 years and comes back, and ironically somehow it just misses the sun instead of going directly into it. I mean, there's just so many problems with it. It's all they do is backfill and make excuses consistently. So if we could, guys, if you want to get lined up, I guess, on each side, and we'll
That's
take a few
Ben.
questions.
Taboo
before
Conspiracy
we,
right there. He's
run
the
out of
4th
time.
Globebuster.
And I guess Jared's going to go out there.
Yeah, I'll do it. If
You wanna do it?
anybody
Okay.
has any questions for, you get out of the way of that, for any of us or for Douglas, I see him. No? Yep. Go ahead.
I have a question about I'm sure you're all aware of this recent thing about the Encyclopedia Americana from 1956 or something. And in that book, they say that there's a dome in Antarctica, and they give these specific coordinates, I think. So I'm just wondering, how legitimate do you guys think that is?
I can answer it from at least a mainstream perspective, and what that is that if you talk about a mountain range, they call those mountains. When you just have one
Guys,
peak that's not part of mountain
Owen
ranges, that's called a
Benjamin
dome. So
is gonna
I'm just giving you
do
the
a
mainstream
2-hour
opinion of that. I don't
performance
necessarily
tonight.
think that that's what was written in there. I don't think it's telling us about the physical dome above us. I think it's talking about a specific mountain. But what do you guys think?
I agree with Jared.
I can get down with that, Alyssa, yeah.
Not actual dome over the potential dome over Earth.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But on the other hand, I also think that, there were certain reports, like when Admiral Byrd went down there, to do some of his missions down there, and there were reports that actually made it into, I think, some of the Argentinian, maybe Peruvian newspapers, that some of the airplanes were actually flying and hitting something in midair. And it was assumed at the time that Hitler had perfected his shielding technology. Now, whether that was the
Damn
case,
you,
which I
Hitler.
doubt, or they were actually hitting a dome, and maybe, who knows, maybe that was where that reference originally came from, and then they kind of backpedaled and said that, well, we're going to call it multiple mountain ranges a dome to kind of,
Camouflage.
Guys,
camouflage it. Yeah, exactly.
let me
I mean,
know
we don't
how
know,
good
but,
is the
that's a
quality
just
on this
possibility.
live stream versus I can record Owen straight to the hard drive and then upload it, and it'll be much better.
My question kind of segues from, or stems from Cammie and Zach's presentation earlier today. One of the things I'm curious about is the dome. If the dome brings people to basic more than, it's just, if you can't recognize there's a dome there and have to question everything, you're lost, I think. One of the things I'd love to see are stars, even in this image behind you. These high altitude shots, I'm never seeing stars. Something else I'm never seeing is the sun and the moon together for that. I never see them close in proximity to one another. I don't know why, but I'd love to see that somehow. The dome itself, I'm so happy that you brought this up. This was my question for Mark Sargent this morning, but I didn't get to. I got his card, I got that card. The question is this: how high do we suppose that is? Because 120 kilometers is what that video just showed when that rocket embedded itself into something. One of the things that really set my mind reeling months, almost 2 years ago now. But when I see 120 miles and I compare that as a ratio to what I'm seeing on Chris's model behind you, 120 kilometers across, say, the state of Arkansas where I'm from is a tiny fraction of that model that I'm looking at. So if I was to turn that vertically and look at it up and down, it's a the models that we're seeing, the snow globes, are much higher representations of what we're seeing.
Are y'all willing to
through
wait,
these shots. So the stars, the
say,
sun, the moon,
an hour or
and
two
does
to
that mean
see
that the
Owen
firmament is possibly very,
he's
very
done,
thick?
and I can just
And when I say
upload it
temperatures
as
like
a
what you're
very
talking about,
high
is that
quality
not like the
recording?
Bifrost?
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
And one last thing. When I saw that, Iru, thank you so much. When I saw that liquid, I had to ask Justin, did I just see liquid moving through a solid?
Well, it's a contradiction in the standard model, because if it just is water outside the rocket at that supposedly temperatures in the vacuum of space, they still have water, stick to the outside of the rocket, or maybe some change of temperature that produces that. I don't know.
The first thing I thought of when I saw that was someone that referred to himself as living water appearing in a room through a solid wall. It's just what I thought of instantly. I'm sorry I took so much
All right,
time.
so yeah, let's try and keep it to the questions. But
Sorry.
to
He's
answer
talking
that,
about Jesus.
there is a lot of evidence, in my opinion
Living
anyway,
water.
for
This
something
guy.
being up there at around 100, 120 kilometers. We just saw what happened with the Go Fast rocket. Also, when you look at sprites and elves, and this kind of vertical upward lightning discharge, and they seem to flatten out.
We miss you.
Dominic
Yeah, exactly.
high altitude
Where are you?
80 kilometers, 90 kilometers.
Yeah, right up in that
expand.
zone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and then when you deal with things like in the firmament, like for example, some people have triangulated, the
Yeah,
sun
but
and the moon, and essentially
go check one of the videos I uploaded that was not a live stream. Like the quality conversation one, or, it just seems like,
it could also be
seems
part
better.
of this personal atmospheric dome caused by our own atmosphere as part of it, or there could be this crystalline structure. It's really hard to say, but all of these things can easily combine to give us an apparent position, which ultimately
combined forces.
can be quite illusory. So thanks for that question. It was good.
Yeah, and in fact, I never pronounce well Kelly.
Dwayne?
Dwayne Kelly.
Dwayne Kelly, yes.
Yes.
Shout out to Dwayne Kelly.
Yeah, man, you have awesome work, and he showed us the start. High about 30 kilometers, 35 kilometers. He could feel the stars. But supposedly, if you heard about Dr. Lehman, that he's a specialist in radiation and things like that, he talks about that if you don't have atmosphere, you don't have a medium, you cannot see light in space. So maybe a sounding rocket with a special camera can show us the stars at that altitude, but the only thing that you see at that altitude is just the sun and the moon, and there are really powerful sources of light, of radiation, but we are still inside of our container. So maybe that's why we can see it. More than that, that is my opinion.
And the
right?
astronauts give very in-depth testimonies on whether they see stars in the sky or not. So,
Exactly.
They still haven't figured that one out.
But then again, and of course, last thing would be, we know that it is ridiculous to assume that we can have an atmosphere that, it's 14.7 psi at sea level next to a 10 to the negative 17th torr vacuum. That is absurd in many ways, and that tells us that, me anyway, that there's got to be a
I
container
might even
to
get
have
a
that
gimbal
pressure. So
for
all these
my
things combined,
phone.
it's pretty good
If you
evidence.
know
I
what a
think.
gimbal is.
Yeah, and the last thing would be too, I think when he was talking about, is a lot of us get confused because of all the models that we've seen of the sun and the moon, even the flat earth, sun, moon, and zodiac clock app. Give me $1.
Shout out to
Even
Dirk.
if we're talking about that, obviously the sun and the moon that we put on that app, or that Dave put on that app, has to be much larger than it would ever be in reality, right? I think that the numbers come back at, some people have said 32 miles in diameter. So think about a sun that's 32 miles in diameter on that model there. It would be about the size of those little tiny lights.
They
that are going around.
still trying to figure out if the light is a particle or a wave. I mean, they are obsessed with light because it's not we don't understand, but The light you see inside of the lamp is not the light itself, it's the gas that is inside of the lamp. It's the gas that is being excited. It's not the actual light. You cannot see light. There is nothing like light. The light doesn't exist at all. There is no speed of the light. You know, that is the speed of the Lucifer. It's the Lucy speed. You know, it's that terminology that they use. But you don't have speed of light. Every measurement that we do is inside of our world, and you need to fight with the resistance of the air or some kind of medium always. You cannot achieve those supposedly magical speed and things like that. You need a medium to produce light. Always, you need a gas to produce light.
Absolutely. Okay, next question.
I don't know if you're going to get any feedback there.
Yeah, as far as the helium thing, I used to lean towards that a lot, and then helium hydride might be a better choice. We know mainstream science talks about helium and hydrogen, they're the two most copious elements in the universe. That would solve that right there. Which brings me to my main point.
Solve what?
With the amount of division in this world, thousands of years, all we've been talking about is religions against each other, religions against science, science against government. Could not this movement be the thing that makes the first step in trying to find common ground with mainstream science and really focusing on that? Like, there's an example right there, helium hydride. If that is the superfluid in space, it solves their question about what makes up the most of the universe, and it solves our problem. You see how we can kind of make that move?
I'm always VIP, Ali.
Yeah.
I'm beyond VIP. I was going
As far
backstage.
as, I guess I'm not entirely understanding the question, but I mean, as far as common ground and...
I see all the exact same problems you're all seeing. I see the lies, I see all that
Right.
stuff. Can we ignore some of that and start establishing common ground in some way?
Well, I would certainly hope that we could, because, that's one of the things, it kind of reminds me of this video that I saw on YouTube about how everybody has their own opinion and everybody's this big comment warrior, and it really got pretty ridiculous. And so
I did not
I think
buy
people are really
tickets.
more kind of
I've never
attuned
bought a
to
ticket
their
to
own
FEIC.
opinions, and it's unfortunate because this anonymity in the world has kind of, separated us, and we don't see those other faces out there, and we're not seeing, other people, right? So in a lot of ways, I think the internet has divided us in a way that it makes it very difficult to find common ground. But I think that, situations like this where people are actually, meeting face to face, and it's a lot easier to find common ground, especially in person. So I don't know if that's exactly what you're looking for, but maybe any thoughts on
Just
that?
one thought I have is that this grassroots scientific movement that we're a part of right now is much different than anything we've ever seen throughout history. Before, it's always been top down. The cabal that runs things, they've been telling us what we need to study, what we need to think. So that everything we're doing now is just all groundbreaking. And so I hope that we maintain the grassroots level, that every single person here, if you can think up a good idea, you can get that to us. And that we can go out there and test it and promote it and build on it. I'm excited for it. I hope that we don't ever have that established again where everything's told from us from top down, but that we work it out as a community, as a grassroots movement, and that always remain that independent.
Yeah, very good. Okay, do we have time for one more question?
Yeah, one more.
All right, let's do one more.
Hello, my name is Chad. I have a couple things I wanted to throw at you and see what you guys say about how we got here with this flat earth. So first off, I am an atheist, and I kind of got that way because I was against all of the control, all of the here's how to live, here's the rules that were written, and you got to question that, and that's how I got there. Then I get into flat earth because that same free me mentality, and there's a lot of Christianity, a lot of Bible, a lot of go to the book that says we got here, but then on the same note, we're saying the science book in the classrooms are what we're kind of against. if this is making sense. So I'd like your, I guess, feedback on how I'm trying to free the shackles of what I was taught to read in a book of how we all got here. I get to a lot of the flat earth community is kind of on the Bible side of things, which is understandable, especially when you're kind of going against what we've been taught our entire lives, which is all the same mentality in my head. But that's kind of what I wanted to, I guess, back and forth on. So I'm kind of trying to get away from the, here's how it was, read this, and this is how it's always been. Reading that book from 1,000 years ago, which has hundreds of books removed, et cetera, how can we connect these things, and how are we properly freeing our mind if we're going back to Bible mentality of that's what it was always done, that's what we read, and that's what you have to go look back to. What? On the second point, couldn't we just simply, to prove this flat earth model, take a boat ride around the equator, measure that. If you go more northern, take a boat ride around, it should be a smaller circumference. If you go south of the equator, take a big boat ride around and measure that and be much bigger than the equator in terms of circumference. I've always thought that, want to know what you guys think.
Can I answer the first question?
Absolutely.
I am a Bible believer and I am a Christian. But I understand where you're coming from. I still think, even though I believe that the Bible supports the flat and stationary earth, I still think that the flat earth needs to be founded on observations, testing, the grassroots movement. That keeps it so that flat earth doesn't just become another religion that can be controlled. It's by the grassroots movement that's free.
Allie,
Even you could go out
that
and
one's
come up
not
with a new
that
experiment or something.
Jesus-y, come on.
And so
Know
that's my
what I'm
personal
saying.
feelings about it, that we still need to maintain a basis on observations and experiments that every single person here can perform. And
I think that's the great thing about YouTube is that you have all those options to you. You know, there is channels like mine where
That guy is named Ben
about.
from Taboo
Because of the exact reason
Conspiracy,
that Ben just said,
and he
there's
has
channels
some
out
of
there
the
that
best
you can watch
videos
that do
for
follow Christianity.
to show
And we can
new
all come to
people.
it together because we're all seeing the same thing, right? So I think it is, available. As far as your idea about taking a boat, I mean, if you look at just the map there's really no path that a boat could take, and then also you can't keep a boat going straight.
And you have restrictions in terms of military and government. It's not so easy to take a plane or a boat without, I mentioned this in the press conference. You need a passport to get out of your country. And you need to pass over thousands of, policemen and register and, trying to imagine that, okay, we're going to take a boat and just ship it, just leave the coast without permission or without even being detected in the radar. So, I mean, for me at least, it's not so easy to do that kind of stuff. Yeah. And let me just address because I think like the guy I can't remember.
There's one nice George Michael.
In terms of spiritual, that question. After all, the mainstream science and any science out there or any religions out there, trying to ask the most fundamental question: why we are here? Who put us here? What we need to do here? That is really, really hard and difficult question because nobody's going to tell you. No book, no science, no religions. You can think in terms of breadcrumbs. You can find information here, information there, and trying to combine. Of course, all the institutions trying to confuse you. That's for sure. And in my personal experience, I became, and I was also an atheist. I became, I was baptized when I was young, blah blah blah. Then I started doubt about the church and the Vatican and institutions, so I get out and I became an atheist without knowing that atheist is the sun god in some culture. So when you became an atheist, you became a worship of Athos, which means the worship of sun. That's why we are inside this heliocentric model. You're never going to be an atheist. Or you believe in the Big Bang cosmology, or you believe in you are created by some kind of intelligence. And something that for me was really impressive and wake me up about the spiritual ground was when I had my first out-of-body experience at the age of 21 years old. And after that, I started looking and say, okay, this is not all. When you die, you not really die in terms of how the mainstream science tell you or the religious institution tell you. So I started looking into that, and I know that there is some taboo about this topic because you're gonna have a lot of information, but the best thing is experience for yourself and be aware. You can have bad experience and good experience, and after all, you need to get back to the source. You know, after your life, you're gonna die. That's sadly for everyone here. But I
Not
mean,
me.
but I mean, the thing is,
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah.
Yeah,
But the thing is,
Epstein's not
the medical
dead,
institution
dude.
trying to get away
Epstein's
of
not
that
even a real person.
experience in that plane of existence, and
Yes.
some other information trying to bring you to that experience. Of course, you can have bad experience. It's the same thing that if you walk outside, you're gonna find nice people and bad people, but you cannot live inside your house because you're afraid what is going to find out there. And for me, that is the same thing, and I really recommend. I know there is a taboo topic, you know, get outside of your body. I don't invoke any kind of deity or I don't say for Saint Germain.
Really
No. I use my own mantra, if you want to think that way, and that is what something that woke me up so quickly, and you know, I don't know.
All right, you told me we got to finish, so that's been Globebusters, everybody. Thank you for joining. As far as BMC, I guess. For what's coming up this evening, just so you know what's going on, we have dinner right now, right? The show's going to be over. And if you want to come back and be in this room at 7 o'clock, at 7, we're going to be doing the filming of the Roll and Ready movie. So they're gonna have a whole setup here, multiple cameras. I know I'm involved. David Weiss is involved. The host is Mark Sargent. We're going to be doing some takes, and we would love to have audience. You'll be
Someone
in the movie.
get this
It'll be,
man a
it'll
beer.
be awesome to have some people. So if you come back at 7, please don't worry about VIP seats. The most important thing is that we fill up as much of the front as possible. So rather than sit where you're sitting, just come in at 7. And that'll go from 7 to 8 o'clock, and then right at 8 o'clock, Owen Benjamin is coming to do, you know, stand-up comedy. So,
Boo! I mean, yay!
okay, right. So then after that, though, we're going to open the VIP back up for Owen. So come back at 7 if you want to see the movie. Come back at 8 to see Owen, and enjoy dinner.
Okay.
Well, thank you, everybody. And, we'll see you in a little bit.
I've been sneaking my own beer in. Check it out. It's a double IPA.
Helium hydride.
Helium hydride, that's where it's
I was going to ask
at.
a question about fluoride. Does hexafluoride,
Sodium
9.5.
hexafluoride, that's,
the stuff that's in our water,
no.
oh, it's a byproduct from aluminum?
Sodium hexafluoride is just like this. So
What's the
if you
shit in our
you know how
water?
you breathe in helium?
That's sodium fluoride, and fluoride bonds to other elements really, really easy. But once it's bonded to most elements, it's not harmful to us, like with the sulfur hexafluoride.
So what's the harmful stuff in the water that dumps
Sodium fluoride.
down? But you're saying it's not harmful to us?
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, when it bonds to other
But no,
stuff,
the
then it
stuff in
becomes
our
inert?
water is bad. Yeah, but just because hexafluoride has fluoride in it, that's not the same.
Yeah, it's a different shape. It's
Yeah,
Oh,
whole
what I'm
different
asking
chemical.
is, I want to see what the chemical structure of that is.
So sodium
because I
hexafluoride,
want to know,
listen.
because they're doing that up there, is that creating a byproduct?
Volcanoes are doing it. It's not.
Yeah, but
That was
that's
intense.
how they get rid of large crowds, by torturing you like that you have to go running
That was
screaming out of the
freaking
building.
intense. Wow.
No, but I want to know the
cow.
stuff that they're doing up there on the firmament, if that's causing the ice on Antarctica, if it's creating Antarctica, and they need to get rid of some toxic gas, so they just shove
That's
it in
just
our
from
water.
sun's location. The sun never goes to the center. It never goes to the edge. It's cold. That's it.
274 Fahrenheit, 400 negative Kelvin, and 0 Kelvin. Those temperatures aren't creating the ice up there, down there.
See, personally, I think the
Creating
Earth goes
condens-
way beyond Antarctica.
Me too. Extra land, extraterrestrial
I don't
land.
think there's a dome per se. Energy fields, probably. I think distance. You know how they talk about dark energy, dark matter.
Dark matter. Yeah.
I think dark matter could be the helium hydrogen
Helium hydride.
helium hydride. dark energy could just be distance. It saps all your energy to cross the distance, right? Therefore, it's negative energy. Distance is dark, negative energy. I don't think things are as crazy as everybody thinks. I think it's easy to come together on this stuff.
I loved your
I don't think
unity
it's that hard.
consciousness. That's what you were trying to say,
See,
right? Why can't
everybody's
we agree
all
with
about the fight. Let's stop. Everybody's been doing that. We've done that. Everybody's stuck in their 9/11 loops, flat first round. No, how about
what do we agree on?
yeah? Let's
What
see
do we
what we can
agree
agree on. Let's do that.
We have a creator. We don't
Everybody's
all
in
agree
these
with the name of the
damn loops
creator,
of the fight.
and that we're all here for the same reason because we were created.
And this isn't. Look how unified this is.
Yeah.
It is automatic.
Unity conscious.
So why don't you show everybody that? You be the guy to make the move.
And what's the punch right? That's a new term, punch right. Like you only take out other like flat earthers. You're taking down these YouTubers are taking out each other. It's like no.
Those
What do we agree
YouTubers,
about?
they don't count for anything because they only represent like less than 1%.
That's a
of the
good
whole
job.
community, anyways. You know, ask anybody
Yeah,
here.
this is encouraging. It's
Ask most of the people here. Hey, what's your YouTube channel?
Yeah, you want to go?
I don't have one. Oh, you don't comment on YouTube videos or live chats? No. See what I mean?
Yeah.
These people don't follow that drama. That's for people that got nothing to do.
They got sucked into a
They're-
rabbit hole, and
right. It's become a
they
social
want
club.
agreement, right? Isn't that everyone's looking for? I'm right, and I'm looking for other people who can confirm what I believe.
Yeah.
And
And if
Pro
you think you've
777?
been wrong, you're going to look for an enemy too.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
should
Who
be,
did that to me?
you
I'm
know,
a victim.
the powers
Who
that
bad?
be.
Yeah. Well, so I
But-
was doing that with fluoride. I'm
All you
looking
gotta do is
for.
ignore the evil. Forget about it, and it'll just immediately evaporate out of your life.
But they said you have to have evil and good consciousness.
I just completely disagree with that.
Who said that?
The Bible guy.
Matt Long said it.
I
Oh,
missed
Matt.
it.
Big talk.
Yeah?
Matt
You
did
have
say
to?
it. Yeah, all
You
about
have to have a good and evil. When you start looking into quantum physics, all the old esoteric things, good and evil, there's no difference. Everything's one.
It's the yin and
Right.
yang of the
Everything's
same coin. It's the same
So
coin.
if you can embrace the evil, you can
Evil's
change it
the
into
point of
whatever you
view.
You
want.
can see it in yourself when you see it in others.
It's way deeper than flat.
All you are responsible for is your own life.
The only thing you can change.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to change the world. Nobody wants to change the toilet paper.
Exactly.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I didn't make that up. I just repeat it.
Well, when you change it, make sure the thing's on the outside so it
I
will.
want to learn how to YouTube. I really do. I watch so many people. And people keep saying you have to, and I go, I don't know how yet. I'm still figuring it
Just
out.
get an account. Actually, go to YouTube and search how to create an account.
I know.
Yeah,
I know it's
I
not
love
easy.
YouTube,
I know
yeah.
it's not easy. I love it.
Have a good dinner.
Thank you. You too.
Yep. Wow, did y'all see that, guys? That lady was hype. Y'all. Did y'all catch that lady? Sulfur hexafluoride has the element fluorine in it, but the fluoride we know and love is sodium fluoride. Right, exactly. Shots fired. Why am I an anarchist? Which I am, but why do you say that I am? I am whatever you say I am. And if I wasn't, then why would I say I am? Y'all are mean. Okay. So, why delete the message dread? Truth hurts. Yeah, so I'll be streaming some or most of Owen Benjamin's tonight. I'd actually rather just record it. Actually, I'm gonna go back and play back some of my live streams and then play back some of the videos I've uploaded and see what looks better and if it's worth it. Wait. Look at this. cluster.
Oh man,
Oh wait, let's go people watch. Hey man. Good. How are you?
Hi chat. You got chat? People?
I do.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, everyone.
33 watching, 11
All right.
thumbs. You know how we roll.
Shout out Ace McLeod.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I can take all the shout outs I can get. Oh, y'all are in for a treat. Hi. Scuba Steve and Chad. This guy does sound healing. Me and him had a conversation on my last video. It was very deep. Karen Davis as well. What is a jaybird? Guys are jamming. They don't know each other. Uh-oh. Get it. Get it. Y'all already know how I roll. That's my musical instrument. I'm gonna have to partake in this later and listen to these guys.
Thank you.
Connie, Wani, Wani. Bo, 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 Bonnie. Five, for Fanny. Connie. Look at this guy jam out on this turtle show. I think it holds a ton.
to jam with a fellow flat earthers.
That's right. It's really cool. I've been waiting forever.
That was awesome.
That was really beautiful.
That was awesome.
Now I have the soundtrack for my little documentary. I'm gonna have you guys opening it up with that music playing, and then throughout the little piece, I'll come back to that music.
What is that called?
Oh yeah, no, I always try to get
drum flute, so it plays much like a bagpipe.
Yeah.
I always try to
Gotcha. Okay.
So you get any
Huh.
live music,
There's
you
two.
record that, you can use it as part of the sound score. Oh, let me get this.
Told you. This guy.
That made it a worldwide location. Artie was running $1 million a year with the club. I had 9,000 members on my membership. And I worked with 3 different owners. The third owner went into bankruptcy. I had closed club. But 9,000 members running $1 million that year. Had closed club. Wow, it's mind blowing. I'm giving you $1 million a year.
What's up, Skyfly?
Man, guys, that was incredible. Hey, could I, before you start that, before you start, sorry. Yes. I got this really nice, okay. Turn it on. I can.
Whoa.
This will be decent, but this will be.
Oh, we're back. Are we back? Shoot, it's buffering.
Glitched out.
The heat is on.
Who guesses who that is first? Come back. Come back. Come on back. Yes. We're back.
Tripping.
Saying it. They're like, actually, no one
Shout out to TMB.
Actually, there's also the game show part right before. So there's the game show
Pictures of your tattoo.
We're working on a new website. I've been tattooing 27 years, and I've got like about the last 10 years up on Facebook page. Got a pretty extensive collection of all my work. Did you get anything about ASP somewhere?
I got a long sheet of black paper.
Yeah, with Cairo. That's That's more the flat earth. I got
I like the
27 years of tattoo, and about the last 7 years I was doing all the sigils. I'm actually traveling with all my gear now. I travel on the road and tattoo, but I've got a huge
Are you trying
collection.
to tattoo someone today?
I was thinking about if you want to get a sigil, or something, if you want to get something small. There was one guy that wants to get a small piece, so I might do just something tiny.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything too intense because I don't want it to take too long. But
That would almost be like an exhibit. If you,
yeah, the problem is that I'm sure the health people. I'm super pumped. I would set up any tattoo, but Robbie might come up and freak out and be like, "What's going on? We got health people, or we could be health," and all of a sudden we have to stop like 10 minutes into it or something.
get half a sigil. It like means something else now.
Huh?
Get half a sigil and now it means something else.
But if you want, you can go to my Facebook page. That's last night. So check it out. I got so much content. Plus, my YouTube channel has all kinds of artwork, and it's got a bunch of videos of the sigils and all. So there's some stuff to look at.
Both Watson and Atkinson.
Yeah, it's WATSUN spelled with 2 suns. It's like the sun.
Gotcha. And that'll make it easier to find. Shout out, baby. It's going now. Yeah, this guy does great art, great artwork. We'll have to show y'all later.
Hello.
Watson Atkinson. Oh, really? A field? Yeah, what does it measure? Oh, okay. So, gotcha. That's cool shit. Yeah, man. Scuba Dracula hits that turtle shell like he's been playing Mario all his life. Alright.
Dude, I'm so glad.
Rock on. I suggest anybody into art and tattoos, go check out this guy's he has a YouTube channel and I guess a website, whatever. It's Watson Atkinson. And that's spelled with a U on both. Like Watson with a U for son and Atkinson with a U for son. So, yeah.
What it has. Yes. And I'm not joking about it. I agree. I understand. I totally. And also, I have
Homemade stuff. Alright. Let's see what we can find outside, gang. Yep, it has to be weekend, y'all. Ain't gonna lie. Of Globebusters, with a little bit of a Q&A afterwards. You know what? I walked to the bar and see who's down there. Owen Benjamin, guys, was hanging out at the bar all night long last night. I'm talking like 3 o'clock in the morning. He was closing down with everyone. And, I was up all over him. They didn't go easy trying to... Oh, what is that? Oh, I thought that was a dog. They didn't go crazy, attacking him like a celebrity or something. We were blown away with being around his kind. I mean, it would be a totally different thing if he showed up anywhere else that was in the normie sector meets fucking legit people that are all on the same page, and who knows, he probably hasn't felt like he's fit in a long time, if you think about it. I know that's definitely a feeling. It's almost type people, they end up becoming, I don't know, almost more valuable than your own family, you know? In a way. It's hard to say, man, but it just is what it is. Here, I'm gonna go back inside. I'll close up the show. Say, oi. What do I got in the bag, guys? Yes, I do have my own beer that I sneaked in. What do we got here? We got Bobby. Hopefully y'all are enjoying the live broadcast. Not really. Okay.
Hungry. I don't know if you were going anywhere, but
sure.
Anyway, I'm sorry to continue on and then we'll
just let me know.
Yeah. Well,
send me a message or.
Well, just
I was just gonna walk back
finish.
there and walk right back. I was
okay.
doing a lap.
Right,
That's
cool.
all.
Right,
Yeah. Shout out to the snake charmers. A bunch of people brought kids this year, which is cool. We got Zen Garcia selling all. He's got all kinds of books. I feel like Nathan Thompson. He's always like, "Hey guys, it's me, Nathan Thompson. I'm always live talking to the chat." What if he's really never streaming? He's just talking to himself, but like he just holds a phone up so that people don't think he's crazy. I can't see anyone chatting. Oh, here it is. Let's see. Ace, tell Bob I say hi. Sorry, I didn't see any of y'all's messages for the past like 5 minutes. They were, I don't know, turned off or whatever. Yeah. Everybody's pretty cool, man. You better take that back, Treaty. Klaus. This is just a test. This is just a drill, but it's showtime, Klaus. Klaus, it's showtime. It's a pretty fancy hotel too. Guys, I walked outside of the range of the Wi-Fi. He can do whatever drugs he wants. What does that mean? Do they at least pay for you to be a useful idiot? What's that supposed to mean? Ha. My uncle's flat. We got some trolls. Do I have 8 shower heads? You know, the amount of shower heads I have makes no difference to you. Yep, y'all are just jealous. Cool. Don't be jealous, bruh. Don't be jealous.
What's this? He's got his ticket to meet Paraders. You pay from over there, $6.50. Your old ticket.
Yeah.
I know.
And this dude just.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool, man.
Doesn't mean just like they're there.
Is that yours?
No. Because
that's just to entice you.
That's to entice you.
That guy's hat is pretty
How much
cool.
are they? What does it say on that?
$6.50. Apparently, you pay for them over there, across the way. Yep.
I guess they would have been looking towards the
Shout out to IPS. D.
What's up, man?
Howdy. Good.
Fantastic. Had a good time.
I am.
Excellent.
Little town. But,
No doubt. We come
got
to these
in
things and we
early.
end up, hanging out all night and stuff.
Exactly.
What's been up, man?
Good to see you again.
See you. I was just trying to wake up the monotony, man. I feel good now that I'm done the presentation.
Yeah,
I've been stressing good. After I've been stressing like for weeks. I've been all. This is my girlfriend Kim.
Yeah.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Ace McLeod.
Hey.
Bumping into people over here. Right. Excuse me. Feel a lot more relaxed. It's like a huge weight off your shoulders. I'm telling you.
Yeah, like getting rid of a mortgage.
Dude, seriously. Yeah.
No.
Basically. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
I love the name. I love it. Blue Marble, right?
Yeah,
You're the Blue
D
Marble guy? It's your real
Daryl.
last name?
It is.
Yeah, you're here to do the Blue Marble work,
It's my
right?
certificate, yeah.
I'm here to do the Mary work.
Absolutely.
You know who she was. Remember that guy?
I
She's
think
like
I
the
heard-
guy who God,
Yeah.
kid, Jesus, however you want to call him.
And like that,
And you're here to do M Cloud work,
Yeah.
Ace work. Very cool. Did you pick that name? Or your mom? I know it's one. Do you know what your card is?
Card?
Your card, which ace you are?
I would go with spades. No, hearts. I'd go with
I
hearts.
think you're right on both of them. Your gut said power and your heart said love.
Both.
Yeah.
Powerful love.
Yeah, I love it.
Thanks, man.
I got a
August 1st.
Oh, 8-1. Very cool.
Yeah. I'm into numerology too.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta keep up with my girl, dude.
Lost your lady, man. She's got bad.
We're team players out
Right over
there.
there. Yeah, first lady I ran into though, super nice. She's selling her tricked out, super extended van. She's been living out. I guess she got an RV.
Carrie?
Older lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glasses?
Yeah. I told her, dude, you gotta try to sell it here. So we've been trying to sell it for maybe 6 months.
Absolutely. Yeah, Carrie, she's really nice. I love Carrie. She's come out to come visit us at the RV a couple times.
Oh, cool. Well, around the same area.
Yeah, she travels a lot.
Were you here last night?
Last night, yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what I didn't expect? I wanted to hang out as much as he did.
Yeah, he was all hanging out.
Most celebrities are like, yeah, okay, I did my thing, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like Russ.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I think he was digging it. I didn't get a chance to talk to him.
I haven't yet. I saw him around. We had that security briefing to let us know, if we hear the cold word blue, hit the deck, get an exit, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff like that. Owen was just sitting in the back by himself. I'm like, seems like a pretty down there dude. So, I'm alright, man.
Yeah, I'm taking Bob to go get something to eat. So, check you around later. Yeah, man. those D marble guys. Sorry, I wasn't holding the camera all in his face, but you know. Does anybody have any hard drugs? Yes, I'm looking for hard drugs, please. I live a life on the edge. Text me. Don't do drugs. Actually, cocaine's kind of a waste of everything. Let's see. But yeah, speaking of, I actually stopped smoking weed. I probably smoked weed about 3 times in the past 2 years. And I don't know, I don't miss it. I just don't. I like dreaming, being able to meditate and actually do stuff like astral project. You know, all that new age warlock kind of shit. What time's Owen on? In 2 hours. It comes on in 2 hours. Yeah, Allie, I'm just a leaf in the wind. I'm here. I rented a Tahoe. I've been hauling people around to and from. I had an Airbnb, but it turns out the Airbnb is far away. It's like over 30 minutes away, and there's not enough beds, so I kind of decided to opt out. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna take a leap. I would take you with me, but I'll save it. Could y'all hear me streaming? What's up, THC Jack? Am I missing something? You guys, you be nice. You trolls, stop being mean. Alright. Let's go find Bob. Yeah, could you hear him? That piss, dude? It was like never ending. It was worse than going to a movie theater, essentially.
What's up, Ace McCloud? Hey, buddy. How you doing? We were
up?
talking about you, man. Right that 1 second right there. We were talking about you.
Yeah?
What's happening here? Hey, man. Love this dude. Shout out to Ace. I do that every time. Are you filming this right now?
Hello? Yeah, it's fine.
Dave from South Dakota. The bar's
Oh,
open.
yeah, it is.
Bar's open.
We got Steve.
I got
Dracula.
Here he is.
Joe
What's
Mama.
Mama.
Okay, so
Adam
Joe
on the
Mama
house.
was.
Don't miss Adam. He's like a key man right now.
What's up, guys?
You getting started over there?
What are you drinking?
Looks like a beer to me. There's a sandwich in every beer, you know. I have to choose between dinner and drinking right now, and I'm a lot closer to.
Pork chop in every can. You want a beer?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get. I've always said there's nothing like food to ruin a buzz, you know.
Do you want a beer?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Nothing like food to ruin a good buzz. You know what I mean? Oh, right on, dude. Thank you. Do I need a fancy?
Yeah.
I do. I'm gonna go steal that from the bar.
That's like.
You want me to open one up for you? Oh, sweet. Thank you very much.
No, I gotta drive Bob's one.
Oh, you do?
And then I'll.
No, I appreciate this, man. We'll have some fun tonight, huh? You'll be back for this movie deal?
Yeah, I was gonna walk over and see
7.
Yeah, kitchen time is now.
It's like
Yeah, 40
6:20.
minutes. Yep.
Hey, thanks.
I'll be back. Yeah.
It looks like a really good one.
I like it.
Thank you, man.
It is good. It's a
I'll
double
see you in
IPA.
a bit.
Yeah.
They literally fused the laser head to the collimator. And so they couldn't, it became unusable. They couldn't use it anymore. And so what they did is they took a
Globebusters After Hours.
where Jared was looking at something he was interesting, right? And they put it at the end and made it look like it had
Allie, you know how I do. And I don't sneak it in to be cheap. I sneak it in because I like really good beer, and most places don't sell really good beer.
Hey, good job as always. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Always fun. I had a ton of questions, but I just really like the sound of my own voice. Stop myself.
No.
And I still have them, but I want to talk to you about them. There's just regular tests that I think would be pretty helpful. And talking about sailing around the tropics, it's like you probably don't have to do that to get that question how far it is between things. You could just pick a couple of longitudinal lines and just go 50 degrees across at each tropic and kind of mix it up. You don't have to do the whole thing. It should be further, or take a plane, you know, just take a plane from some point from a coordinate to a coordinate. And that's probably been done about this time. I imagine.
People don't really understand what they're doing.
Let me ask you this. GPS, I just got done telling you what we're doing.
Mr. Fleck, dude, what the hell's your problem, man?
Well, they say it does, but it does not. GPS is essentially Moran Sea.
Okay, so we're not doing this. So why can't I be at sea level somewhere and then go to the top of the mountain with the same XY coordinate directly above?
Because that's not an XY, it's a Z.
Right, but I'm saying.
I mean, where are you going?
Alyssa Brittany really wants to say hi to you. She's been telling me all day. She's just in this chat.
Oh, okay.
She couldn't be here.
Am I on?
Yeah, now you are. Yeah.
Say hi, Lisa.
We need to go to Subway before.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I hope that answers your
Thank you
question.
very much. I love you,
Lisa. I
appreciate
The
it.
producers are a bunch of damn liars, and you can take that to the bank.
Thank you, sir.
What was the name of that Greek place you went to?
I have no knowledge of there.
Patillas or something? Patilia?
Hey, Bob, you should try. There's a Greek place not far from here.
Patilia?
Fries and stuff.
I'll talk to you
I
about
mean,
it.
good. We had it earlier.
No, I think I'm just going to do Subway because.
It's easy to eat.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
easy, and it's
Should we
quick,
go
and
to
we need to
Subway?
get there.
I'm going.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Ready?
Okay, I guess I'm going to go with you. I just
Okay.
have my own camera. Are you going with me? No. I'm
Hey,
just
this is
down.
great. No, that's my jacket.
Yeah, no, I'll take it off later.
Oh, that's cool. I'm sorry. Look at this, guys.
Oh, that's cool.
I thought before tonight.
Cloudbuster.
Yeah.
Chemtrail eater.
Nice.
Yeah. I would love to see something
How much
like
are
that
these,
in
something
action.
like that?
How much would you build? He just left.
I'll be back.
I don't know on that. It depends on the amount of crystals and stuff he puts in it, I think. It's got Herkimer diamonds in it. It's got quartz crystals. It's got metal. It's got aluminum. It's got iron. It's got steel. It's got copper. It's got all that. Sometimes I can tell when he turns it on. I can kind of feel like a
Yeah. You can feel
It's different here in another place than it is at his place.
Copper coming from this is warm.
But in his place, he's got the whole room.
Why is
We
that?
wrapped the whole room in aluminum.
Copper's warm.
You know, like
this is
to build
cold.
a
This
cage
is warm.
out
Is
of
it the yeah?
floor,
No,
ceiling,
this one.
walls, everything. The phone won't hardly work in there.
yeah.
If he turns it on in
Maybe.
there,
That's so
feel it when
weird.
it comes out.
That's interesting.
There's something in there. I don't know. Or the vibration is heating up the metal, kind of like a microwave.
Right.
You know?
This whole tube is.
Guys, we gotta go.
I know.
His is sitting on wood. He sits it on wood.
Guys, we gotta go. All right, we're out, guys. I'll be back on later with Owen Benjamin. So stay tuned.
It keeps going all the time. I said as you go all the time.
All right.
Do you have a heater
Bye.
in your car? How
Yeah.
far are you parked?
Yeah.
Will you come pick me up at the door at 9?
Sure.
I'm impressed.